Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. I took a little break yesterday from the Diddy trial, right? But I did listen to Queen Sheba, and it was two things that stood out. She said that in one of the texts she sent Diddy, Jane Doe, she said that he had made her sick, right? Like maybe a UTI or something else. And she also said that he was looking at the jury and looking at Jane Doe and nodding. Now he not supposed to be doing that because the judge said if he gets caught doing that again, he gonna put him out. So let's get into what's going on day 20. Y'all, can y'all believe that we are 20 days into this? So today, Jane, there's cross to begin. And then in parentheses, he says there will be more days. I know she is tired. Not as tired as being in one of those hotel nights, but I know she's tired of being on this stand, being asked about those hotel nights. Let's go. Okay, clearly Diddy's lawyers are not happy because whatever they didn't want to be admitted, the judge is allowing the alleged fraud to be induced into the hotel nights or is admissible, despite what the defense wants to say. And then down here, I need you to understand the jury is not in yet, right? They're talking about the balcony incident took place on September 26th. We believe she perjured herself and that they knew the government elicited that all injured were at the same time. So they're just doing little conversations, getting things straight before they bring everybody in. Okay, not only are we tired, but the judge is tired, right? I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but the judge said, can't we just say that the government screwed up, giving Miss Westmoreland a rare Perry Mason moment in federal court? She did a great job. Diddy's lawyer was like, she did do a great job, but Miss Ventura said that she saw it. So whatever it is, they got to do it, okay? And Diddy's lawyer said this is the only second motion for a mistrial. I guess it's out there that they tried to do it a third time, so it's only the second motion. And the AUSA right here says Mr. Steele has also moved for a mistrial. The judge said, well, he said he was going to move. Then Diddy's lawyers was like, we object to juror 6 being stricken. It's under seal. And then the judge interrupts and says everyone will be heard. Like, he's tired. So the jury finally comes in. All rise. You may proceed with cross-examination. So now Diddy's lawyers are going to talk to Jane. Jane, we met before. Then you stopped meeting with the defense. That was your choice, right? She said that's correct. And he went on to ask, you are testifying against Mr. Combs? She said, I'm testifying against him. How many times did they prep you on how to cross-examine at this trial? She said maybe 2 or 3. Did you bring in other prosecutors to cross you? She said yes. Then his lawyer was like, and they granted you immunity at the grand jury, right? She said yes. You said you had regret about some of the choices you made with Mr. Combs. She said, if you have it, I'd love to look at it with you. Okay. Child, Jane said she loved this lifestyle, right? She said she had no problem with it. She said, I was hooked from the start. From the moment that she got on the yacht with Diddy that her friend was going with and Diddy slid her his number, she was hooked. From the moment he pulled her in and had her to do her first hotel night, and she thinking she's just doing it for him, and then he puts her into a lifestyle, she's hooked. Jane said there was pressure to perform these acts my lover desired. And the lawyer was like, you used the word partner again and again on direct. He was your partner? She said, yes. You said you've had trouble answering for yourself while you had bang bang with these men. She said, yes. The lawyer was like, are you in therapy now? Yes, I'm sure. She should be. Then she was asked, does she love Mr. Combs? She said, I love to spend time with my partner. Then she was asked, you want to cuddle with him? To give him foot rubs. Foot rubs? You said, and then the AUSA said objection to counsel making herself a witness. Child, up top, what you can't see. She said, I love to bathe him while he watched his favorite show. The question was, what show was that? Dateline. Dateline. Then she was asked, did you believe he was not doing this with anyone else? She said, during this time period. And then she was asked, you look at his messages. She said, yes. Then she was like, he was vulnerable in those hotel rooms, and I shared that with him. It was conflicting. I was breaking all my boundaries so that he could feel loved. And then the lawyer was like, this brought you two together. She said, yes. The love making afterwards, that's why I enjoyed it. So after you have been going through a bang bang process with 1 to 2 to 3 different men, you were looking forward to sleeping with Diddy at the end of all this? It had to be that he wasn't worth his salt, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't have that much of a big effect. But her sleeping with him was giving her partner relationship vibes. And it probably wasn't that strenuous on her. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going. So then she was asked, you tried to be very sexy to him in those rooms. She said, I think I was sexy in those rooms. Because you are a beautiful woman, did you choose the wardrobe? She said, initially he does. Then she was asked, he liked baby oil, it turned him on? She said, yes. So they asked her how old was she when she got into this relationship with Diddy. She said 35. 35? Y'all, that's too old not to be able to make good decisions for yourself. There's no way he could have penetrated my mind like that at 35. And then he wanted to know, what are examples of your fantasy talks in rooms? Child, he liked to have her to be with the other people and pretend like she's cheating on him. Okay. How high were your heels? 6 to 7 inches. Can you imagine how she was tiptoeing around that room? She said she usually wear anywhere from 3 to 4. And then he asked her, you wanted your child to be closer to your child's father, but did the father see the child? She was like, what does that have to do with this? I know that's right. Where is he going? But anyway, then the lawyer said, who you fly weekly to Miami to see Mr. Combs? She said, sometimes. Wait a minute. Who you fly weekly? Or did you fly weekly to see Mr. Combs? She said, sometimes. We listened to 5 voice notes in which Mr. Combs sounded angry. I think I talked about that in Hot Topics yesterday, where he said, baby girl, I ain't about to sit here and wait on you. I ain't about to go back and forth with you, blah, blah, blah. But he sent you thousands, right? She said, yes. Why did you feel he was larger than life? She said, bright light. Child, she said Diddy introduced her to gospel and they would watch a certain pastor on television on Sunday mornings. Who is the pastor? They objected and sustained to that. Then they went on to talk about her dress line that he invested $20,000 into. Then they asked her, why did you join OnlyFans? Now, this is saying if I could get off it, I would financial need. So basically, probably she could stop doing what Diddy was doing. She could, take care of herself. Mr. Combs gave you money throughout the relationship. In 3.5 years, does $150,000 sound right? She said, I would assume. P.S. Diddy's still paying for her lifestyle up until the point that he got arrested. Up until the point, I feel like today, the way I was reading it, he's still paying for her to live in that $10,000 home. You told the government you gravitated towards providers. She said, yes, as a woman, I like that. You called the house our house. She said, later I saw it as my house. And then Diddy's lawyers pointed out that it was important to her that the staff not know about the entertainers, right? There was an objection by the AUSA. The judge overruled it. She had to answer. She said, right. And then Diddy's lawyer asked her, and there is a reason you go to the house, that and a yard for your son. Then she said, can you say my child? And they took a break. So this is the early morning. I'll be back with something else. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I'll talk to you later. Bye.